It's the second quarter-final here at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017, and it's a rematch of the 2013 final. Three-time silver medalist Mozambique face off against two-time African champions Angola. Welcome along to Bamako, Mali from me, Tim Long, alongside former Czech international Teresa Brantlova. A great matchup here as we see the other matchups that have taken place on this court. They're the three remaining quarter-finals. Nigeria already through to the Final Four tomorrow. And here we look to decide who will face the winners of that Cameroon against Senegal tie in tomorrow's semi-final. Mozambique disappointing in defeat to Nigeria after arriving late to the tournament on game day one, but they impressed over the next three games, pushing defending champion Senegal before back-to-back wins over Guinea and DR Congo. They finished the group stage with defeat to Egypt in very odd circumstances, a game which neither team wanted to win in order to avoid the host Mali at this stage. So Mozambique in the matchup they wanted here in the quarterfinals, and Angola will look to make them regret that decision. They're a perfect 5-0 so far, finishing top of Group A. Big wins over the Central African Republic and Cameroon, as well as single-digit wins over host Mali, Tunisia and the Ivory Coast. Teresa, both teams arriving at this stage in very different circumstances. Angola full of momentum. Mozambique need to find their focus again.
Absolutely, I agree. And plus Angola has faced Central African Republic in yesterday's game, and coach Kabilha has saved his key players for today's game. So there are huge differences between these two games as well, because Angola is such a team, well-balanced team, led by Italy Lucas. And I have to say, if Italy Lucas is on the bench, it is almost half team of the Angolan, but we can expect Italy Lucas to be on the court today quite a lot. So we will see some three-point shoot threat from Angola, same like some inside points as well. But on the other hand, Mozambique has Mafanella, they have Sheda as well. And I think these bigs could a bit cause troubles Angolan defense. So we will see. Mozambique is well led by Anabella Costa as well. She reads the defense very well, so I think it will be a nice game to watch today.
You see the Mozambique players on their bench just a few seconds ago and looking very calm and composed, so too on the Angolan bench. And there she is, the number one. She very much is number one for Angola, Italy Lucas. What a fantastic tournament she's having, averaging 20 points. 5.2 rebounds, 2.8 assists per game, and right on the money from downtown. And when Angola have needed big comebacks as well, which has happened on a couple of occasions, she has stepped up and provided everything that they've needed to keep their perfect record intact. We're seeing the official introductions of the two sets of players now, starting with Mozambique. It's a huge task for them. What did you make, Teresa, of the way that they got themselves this matchup in that defeat to Egypt? We knew that the winners would face Mali, and neither team wanted to win.
Yeah, that game has been I don't really feel like coming back to that game anymore, because it just has been quite disgrace, I would say, to basketball, because none of the team was really trying to win that game. And when it gets to that point, it just doesn't send a right message to the other teams, and mainly to the young players. So Mozambique has got what they wanted. They're now facing Angola, and it will be interesting to see if Angola can hugely overplay Mozambique, or Mozambique has managed it tactically quite well for them. But when we questioned Italy Lucas before yesterday's game of Angola, what she thinks about that game, Egypt-Mozambique, when none of the team wanted to grab the win and face Mali in quarterfinals, she has said just one word. She said it's a disrespect. And I'm pretty sure the whole Angolan team knows what has happened yesterday, and they will want to show them that they haven't really chosen well in that game, trying to lose it to face Angola in the quarterfinals.
Certainly a bit of extra momentum, extra motivation for Angola, who were full of momentum if they needed any extra motivation, of course. 5-0, and looking to send the message to Mozambique that they picked the wrong opponents for this quarter-final. We'll pause for the two national anthems, Angola and Mozambique.
Thank you so much. Good game, good luck.
It's the second quarter-final of the day here at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017, a rematch of the 2013 final, I beg your pardon, when Mozambique, who lost that game, finished with the silver medal, will be looking for payback and looking to cause an upset against Angola. Former Czech international captain Teresa Brantler alongside me for this one. And Teresa, how do Mozambique give themselves the best chance of causing that upset? Is it going to the bigs inside?
I think they would have to really focus on Italy Lucas. I know we mentioned that name quite a lot, but to be honest, she is a huge contributor from any aspect of the game to Angolan team. And I would probably say that one of the guards would have to face guard Italy Lucas, but when you have a player like this in an opponent's team, you want to play a great team defense. You can't just leave that one player to do a magic. You have to really stick together as a team and have a good second, third rotations when there's going to be any screen set it for Italy Lucas. So that could possibly help, because we've seen that Angola is a completely different team without Italy Lucas. So we will see how Mozambique is going to handle it tactic-wise and what they're going to come up with to try to upset Angola.
We saw as well in that starting five Louisa Thomas, another potentially key player in terms of defence down low against the bigs of Mozambique. Team highs of 5.4 boards, 1.2 blocks per game. They will need her, I'm sure, at times against the likes of Dong, who we see at the centre of that huddle. What Angola do have is plenty of experience as well. They won the tournament in 2013 and in 2011. That 2011 tournament was here in Bamako. 5 of their 12 players on this roster won that 2011 tournament a good 6 years ago, so they have that title-winning experience to get them through too.
Yeah, they do, but every year is a completely different new championship, let's say. And we've seen that Angola is performing really well at this championship this year, and Mozambique has had a couple of struggles within the tournament. So we will see how that's going to go today.
Mozambique, by contrast, on that roster have quite a few young players. Chania Pinto, the youngest, at 17. As we see their starting five, we've talked about Leia Dong and Annabella Cossa already. Mafanella and Seda can be key presences in the paint as well.
I would not forget to mention Leia Dong, because she has been an absolute key player for Mozambique team so far, together with Annabella Cossa. So we see this matchup of two important players for each team. Leia Dong is just an absolute leader in points, rebounds for their team, and as well with the aggression she has inside of her, and with that desire to win every game. And I think she will definitely help with the same desire to her teammates if she's gonna put it on today as well. Italy Lucas, we have mentioned that name quite a lot at this tournament, and she is absolute key player for Angola. She is creating for her teammates, and she is creating for herself. It's very hard to defend a player like she is, so that's why Mozambique needs to really play a quick and good team defense.
Italy Lucas, American-born, was rejected from representing Angola 2 years ago, but got the approval this time around, so she's looking to go all the way with them the first time. MVP of the Angolan League this year. And Leia Dong, we talked about, Mozambique's key player, team highs of 15.6 points, 8 rebounds, 1.6 steals per game, and shooting over 50% from the field. One of the most positive and aggressive players you'll see in the paint at this tournament, the number 11 there. Here we go. We're ready for the second quarter-final here at FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017. Two-time African champions Angola looking to win their third title this decade. Mozambique looking to climb to the top of the mountain for the very first time. A place in tomorrow's semi-finals is on the line. The opening tip will be contested by Seda and Thomas. Goes straight away out of bounds. First offensive possession of the game will be for Mozambique.
So I see well that Angola is starting to showing up the zone. So yeah, that's a zone defense from Angolan team.
Cossa. Here is Dong on the perimeter. Usually does most of her work in the paint, and then trying to get down the line, but stepping on the line was Mafanella. Packer. Here is Lucas, first touch of the ball. What's she going to do?
First and the most dangerous, I would say, because it's almost a rule at this tournament that first or second shot is Italy Lucas's shot, and a successful one.
One of her teammates misses their first shot this time, and Cossa runs into trouble, goes back to Mafanella, and it goes to Dong. She's going to show us what she's all about down low. Forced underneath the basket, passes back though. And coming away with it is Whitney Miguel. And Lucas. Still Angola ball.
And you see that Satya Halar has that responsibility to face guard Italy Lucas.
And Packer rolling a marker and putting it in for the first score of this quarter-final. 7.2 points per game for her so far. Cossa shoots from range, not much imagination about that offense. Here comes Lucas. Crossover one way then the other, finds an open teammate on the perimeter. They can't make it count with Mpaka. Offensive rebound, Lucas calling for it far side now. Gets the defense moving, steps back, can't put it in. She is shooting over 50% from the outside in this tournament. A double dribble then against Cossa. Mozambique have had a warning though.
Absolutely, because that hasn't really happened at this tournament yet, that Italy Lucas would miss her first shot. I know it sounds incredible, but that's the fact. It's a great face guard from Halar on Italy Lucas.
Trying to stick with her on this near side of the court, away from the ball, but there's a good look for three from the far corner. And it goes this time for Angola.
That is out by Georgia.
Halar into the foul line to Seda. Mafanella gets fouled by Georges. Can Mozambique get themselves up and running here? Cossa, no they can't, it's Lucas with the steal, it's Lucas with plenty of space to stop and pop.
That's quite a new situation now for Italy Lucas, that she hasn't made any of her shots so far. So it'll be interesting to see if it's going to affect somehow her confidence into a further time of this game.
Air ball from Cossa, so Mozambique have to wait a little longer, almost 3 minutes without a score. Miguel to inbound, it's tipped by Cossa, back to Miguel. And a travel called against Georges. Mafanella, Seda was calling for it, it goes the other way to Dong, who's forced to step on the baseline. But I think the foul has been called here on Georges.
It's a second time, exactly the same situation, just a different offensive player. Georgia is not there by her feet on time. We can see it now that she has been pushing Leia Dong into the baseline. She has to be quicker on her feet to just step on that baseline.
Pereira for a trouble. Georges has gone to the bench. Here's Dong going one way, then the other, stuck to all the way by her opposite number, Thomas. Back out, Cossa's three, won't go down. Lucas the rebound. It's the last person Mozambique wanted to fall to. Miguel onto Ndoniema. And contact called against Mafanella. And Thomas, I said that she would be key guarding Dong down low. She's shown it. Just what I was talking about there, averaging 1.2 blocks per game.
It's been a smart move from Italy Lucas. She has brought her defensive player, as she already has anticipated that move, but she's going to go on the top of the key. Great change of direction from Italy Lucas.
She gets her first points in this quarter-final from the foul line. Cossa to Mafanella. Mafanella's picked up 2 fouls already as well, but she remains on the court, and she makes it count too as she puts that one in to get Mozambique going.
A great read again from Annabella Cossa.
Lucas behind the back dribble brings a few oohs and ahs from this audience, which is growing because the host Mali are in action after this.
Now we see Elizabeth Pereira face guarding Italy Lucas. She doesn't really worry about the other players. All her job is face guard Italy Lucas and unable her to receive the ball.
And Packer forced into the travel as she's surrounded by a pack of Mozambique players, 3 of them. Fizzed into Dong, off the foul line, she had it poked away. Here comes Lucas. Takes her time before finding the free player on the far side. It's a 3. Offensive rebound. Thomas can't put it back up and in. Dong still looking for her first score and has it knocked away again, but it's still Mozambique ball and she just can't get going.
The Angolan team is well prepared for her. We can see that they're blocking every shot Lea Dong is attempting to take. Just great preparation from Angolan defense.
Now go on to Dong, who's going to keep on trying. It was a lovely dancing move, but she missed the shot, grabbed her own rebound and put it in, determined to get going.
Yeah, she's another player, if we don't mention Italy Lucas, who never gives up. Even though she misses the shot, she still fights to get her own rebound and get another shot.
Lucas strains the three. It wasn't going to take too long.
Yeah, so surely the first missed shot hasn't affected Italy Lucas, but that has been quite expected because she plays with a huge confidence at this tournament.
Crosser across to Moyanga. And it goes to the low post as Setter. Little hesitation, little pump fake. No route to the rim though. Long release, and Packer will go to the line for two.
But I have to say, I see a huge improvement from Angolan team is transition offense. They hasn't been the strongest team at this tournament to run transition offense and quick breaks. But so far, every mistake or every missed shot or quick offensive rebound, they're punishing with a transition offense. And that's such promising to see for the games at this tournament, because we haven't really seen that so far.
Just over the midway point of the first quarter, timeout call with Angola up by 6, 10-4 over Mozambique. Just 4 points on the board so far for Mozambique from Dong and Mafanella. Mafanella, who's picked up a couple of early fouls. Angola with 10 points, spread between two players. And Packer. Well, that can't be right. Just looking at the board, the scoreboard up here has 0 points next to the name of Italy Lucas, so we'll leave that for now. 5 quick-fire points for Italy Lucas after a slow start, a couple of free throws and then a 3. And look at the job that Thomas has done on Dong so far. She's one of those players who was part of the 2011 tournament winning team here in Bamako. Packer adding to her early points from the stripe and extending Angola's lead. An offensive rebound off the missed free throw as well. George moves it across Miguel it was, and then rolled off the feet. Thomas. Cossa back out to Dong, a little bit of room for her, but further away from the basket than she likes. They're going to attack her in transition to Mpaka. Nice find from her. Layup wouldn't drop.
That's been a great timing for that cut towards the ball, but you just have to make an open layup.
Dong, offensive rebound. Can she get a bit of joy inside? She can. And both of her scores so far are off grabbing her own misses.
Yeah, and that's the key point when you're taking a rebound. Don't turn your head towards the rim. First face your player who you're supposed to box out and push them away from the rim.
Lucas behind the back pass, wide open foul line shot for Thomas, misses. Cossa bumped as she tried to push the ball away from Mpaka. Doniema. Shot clock's down to 2 here, they have to put it up. They don't in time.
We see very impressive defense from Mozambique team so far. They're really trying to cut off Italy Lucas, cut her off the ball, and it seems to be a bit issue for Angolan offense.
They'll try and make it a one-possession game again here. Mozambique with 3.5 to play in the first. 3-point shot, Cossa won't go. Dong again underneath trying to grab the offensive rebound, but it goes the other way. away at Lucas. He clings onto it and turns on a show, although the pass didn't find its mark. Here she goes, Ndoniema. Just a little message from Natalie Lucas to Elizabeth Pereira, don't get that close to me.
Absolutely, or get even closer so you are in touch to me, so I can throw a foul. It has been a great attack now from Sonia Ndoniema. She took that responsibility for Natalie Lucas to get a bit off that pressure on her shoulders to score every time.
Ndoniema at the foul line, hits her first. Angola up by 6 with 3 minutes of the first quarter to play. She'll try and add one more. Cossa to Pereira. Fed into Seda. Trapped by the double team, passes out of it.
And now at that stage it was a little bit too static, because when Anabela Cossa has received the ball, someone needed to flash inside of the zone.
Cossa can't get it to drop at the end of the shot clock, but Dong picks up the pieces and can't get the roll. Another offensive rebound in there, another miss, and another. They've got to make it count, and they don't. There were 4 players free on the perimeter that last time.
This is incredible effort on the board from Italia Mafanella.
Seda, the pass just about finds its way through. She looks around wanting a foul, but doesn't get it.
Credit to Whitney Miguel. She's not putting her hands down on those shots. She's just keeping them nicely straight, and it's been effective defensively now.
Packer against Cossa, misses. Dong grabs another rebound. Pereira moved around to Cossa via Moyanga. Seda across to the far side. Pereira shoots the 3.
There has been a zone 3-2 now this time, and a point guard has to recognize that, and they have to overload the situation. So when you see a zone 3-2, you're trying to have 2 guards on the top to kind of overload that zone, and then it will create an open spot. Instead, Mozambique's offense has stayed be playing 3 on the perimeter and 2 bigs, so you have to really read that defense.
Into Dong, edge of the paint. She passes out of the double team. Outside shot off the mark. And that seems to be the go-to offense now for Mozambique, to take on those 3-pointers. It's not working. Lucas gets through and gets contact inevitably.
And that's that team defense I was mentioned earlier, that Mozambique will have to play on Natalie Lucas, because Pereira does a great job. But now Anabela Cossa has just stayed on the weak side and hasn't made that extra step to go on the split line to be in a position for the help of this penetration.
Natalie Lucas at the strike for another 2. Seven points early on for her. Moyanga across to Seda, back to Cossa. Swung around the perimeter to the far side. They'll try and get inside. Dong. Plenty of time still to work with. Dong steps back to take on a 3. They're all missing from the outside. They've got the benefit of the offensive rebound. Cossa will shoot another 3. Lucas, nice cross-court pass, drive down the baseline by Gala. Turn in the paint, and miss from Felipe.
And it's good to see Rosa Galan back on the court after that ankle injury in the previous games. Another effective guard for Angola, who can replace Italia Lucas if she would be on the bench.
No room for that pass from Dong at all. Gala gets it handed back to her by Thomas. She's still going. Gala found a gap, almost lost her footing, but able to balance and keep her poise in the paint. And that's going to call timeout. It's going to force the timeout for Mozambique, who just can't get going. 6 points. And they have really struggled. In fact, it's the end of the first quarter, I beg your pardon. A double-digit deficit already for Mozambique. They trail by 10, 6-16, Angola in control. A couple of teams on display here who are desperate to try and get to the World Cup in Spain next September. Angola in the driver's seat in terms of keeping their chances alive of doing just that. I can see a bit of a struggle from them inside, but they have got to the line for 8 free throws, made 6 of them, and Mozambique have resorted to just throwing up 3-point attempts and haven't hit a single one. 0 of 8 from downtown.
Yeah, Mozambique has to manage their fouls a bit, because to send a Angolan team 8 times on the free throw line in the first quarter, that's just a super high number, and you don't want to give them 40 points basically for free from the foul line by the end of this game if that goes the same way like we've just seen. Angola has sticked into their game. They're sitting in the zone defense, trying to force Mozambique into unprepared, unopened shots, which we've just witnessed the past couple of the minutes of this first quarter. And surprisingly for me, they are attempting to run every time a quick break, which gives them the advantage in easy baskets. And we've seen that first quarter quite a lot. So Mozambique has to really protect their ball, stick their game to their game plan, and not rush their offense to allow Angola to run these quick breaks.
It's not going well for Mozambique so far. They are still very much in it against Angola, but they don't want this lead to grow too much more. Gala looking to hand off to Lucas, goes the other way. Whistle on the play, and they'll start again from the sideline. Well, that was take 2. We might need to take 3 to start the second quarter.
I think there has been a slight issues with the shot clock right now.
The referee was looking at the Angolan bench, giving the thumbs up.
Yeah, because there has been 14 seconds on the shot clock at the beginning of another quarter. Should be 24.
Lucas steps back and drains the long 2. Muyanga, Pereira, and Cossa. Set up.
So we see back to 3 zone from Angolan team.
Dong trying the moves on the Angolan defense and being blocked off by Felipe again.
Yeah, another great defense on Lea Dong. I'm pretty sure Coach Cavilha has said his players, just keep your hands up, don't try to reach, because you're going to block that shot.
Just 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Into Dong, who leans in, creates some space and puts it in.
Yeah, but a player like Lea Dong, you just can't give her this 1 second not paying attention to her, so great punishment from her.
Doniemo trying to move it around the corner, gave it away. Can Mozambique start to eat into this double-digit deficit slightly? It's saved on the baseline, but only to Itali Lucas. They'd probably rather it just went out. Lucas, the lightning-fast crossovers, the little shake-and-bake dribble. A foul called against the defense. It's the first foul of the second quarter. And Doniema to inbound to Lucas. Trying to stick with her all the way is Pereira. Felipe, and it goes to Thomas. Thomas forced into a wild shot.
You see, every time Italy Lucas doesn't receive the ball pretty much in offense, the rest of the players are not really able to create as much. So great defense for Pereira.
Dong catching Thomas off guard that time. She wasn't aware that the ball was being fired in towards the low post. 8-point game. Lucas. Okay, look at Pereira trying to stick with it. Lucas goes the other way into the paint. Teardrop over the top of Dong. Pereira left unguarded at the other end of the floor. Another miss. Dong with another rebound. And another difficult job trying to force one from the paint.
Yeah, at this moment, when you grab rebound like this, you have to already know if there is way to attack the basket or not. That's very important in basketball to kind of like anticipate before it even happens. You have to know already what is the situation on the court, and Lea Dong hasn't really read it properly right now because she was attacking the 3 defensive players of Angola.
Katia Halar comes back in and inbounds the ball to Tamara Seda. And the handoff to Kossa, back to Halar. Kossa again. Halar will be the latest to try the 3-pointer. It's an offensive rebound for Seda and swatted away by Thomas. Seda gets some contact, although a travel has been called.
I think Luisa Thomas does a great job in defense for Angola. She's been a big danger for offensive players in Mozambique. Anytime someone wants to penetrate, she's there to block that shot. Great effort so far from Luisa Thomas.
Italy Lucas so far has 9 of Angola's 18 points, exactly half. And she brings the ball over centre court and looks to put the moves on the defence again. Oh, lovely pass. Didn't quite find its intended target straight away, but it's back out. Eusebio looked off all the way from where we're sat, that one. Halar saves it, able to play out of the press in the corner. Dong catches it basket side and puts it in. A bit of rare time and space for Lea Dong.
I just love the cooperation of these 2 players, Anabela Kossa and Lea Dong. They always know where each one of them is located at the court. It's a great court vision again from Anabela Kossa to spot Lea in there behind the defense waiting for this long pass. Great look.
What a great response from Mozambique. They brought it back to within 6 points. Timeout called 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Tá bem? Elas são abertas de salto aqui, todos. E na zona do ataque, Inês, vou jogar a 1, não há problema, joga 3. Com a Lucas e com a Rosa, joga 1 também, para atacar em 6, ok? Tanto com um como a outra. E depois, temos que obrigar a bola, tá? Insista com o jogo interior. Quando a bola aqui acaba fora, atenção. Ana.
You see Lea Dong up to 10 points now, despite a real battle inside. She's been able to come out of it now and get a little bit more joy. The number 11. And quite important, Teresa, as well, is they've stopped just going for those 3-point shots over the last couple of minutes.
Absolutely, and we've seen as well quite effective offense from Mozambique, and Elizabeth Pereira has just done a great job on Italy Lucas because she has forced the rest of the teammates to create, and that has been a big struggle for Angola.
Here goes Rosa Gala. Can't fire around the big frame of Dong, and they turn it over. That offense off the back of the timeout. Mozambique a chance to continue their momentum. Afanella riding closely on the far side. Here's Dong. Steps back, 10 seconds to work with. free spot for the three for Kosa. Offensive rebound again. Lucas last touch out of bounds. Well, they couldn't resist that wide open three, but they are 0 of 11 from the outside now.
Yeah, they have to read their game a bit better, because if you owe from 13, that tells you something, that you probably don't have one of the best days from the long distance shooting. So you should definitely intend to try to push the ball inside on your bigs, or penetrate and create a space by that for your teammate.
Natalie Lucas crossing over towards the baseline, just ran into trouble, finds a way out. Blocked from behind by Kosa. Didn't touch the rim, so still 6 seconds. That's all they have. And then getting a piece of it the second time was Moyanga.
It's been a great read from Angolan offense, not to rush that attack to the basket while they been a bit under pressure of a shot clock. They have taken 1-2 seconds just to create for Luisa Thomas to be wide open to lace the ball up.
Couple of made free throws for Thomas. Angola keeping Mozambique at bay. Halar to Moyanga. Cross by Kosa in towards Mafanella, who's bumped on the baseline and forced into the turnover. Eusebio. And Packer with a risky pass, and it's picked off. Mafanella. Kosa cross court to Halar. Back to Kosa again. She has it knocked away. The steal from Eusebio. Dong trying to get back and swats it out the gym. And clatters her opponent too.
You can see already now Leah knows that she's gonna blow that shot.
Good sporting play afterwards as well. Packer. Good open look from Miguel. Dong the rebound. Midway point of the second quarter. 8-point differential. Low scoring game. Dong. Dong putting all the moves on the Angolan defense. What a move that is on the offensive end, just a few seconds after that big block on the defensive end.
And I think that was just one case when Luisa Thomas hasn't been ready in that middle of the paint.
We're seeing all of the big hitters come to play in this one. Lucas fade away too, almost went as she fell to the floor.
I understand Lucas is a great player, but this hasn't been really a prepared position. She had two defenders on her, so in that case she should have found her open teammate.
Mafanella with a delicious bounce pass into Moyanga as Mozambique closed the gap to 4.
Great turn back from Mozambique from being down at the beginning of the game. A massive gap.
We're seeing some great quality on this floor right now. 4 minutes of the first half to play. Lucas with a 3 and a hand in her face, misses. Kosa to try and close the gap as she fires it forward to Moyanga.
No.
And she banks it in as well as she gets contact. And it's not going to count.
Well, the player has been already in the first step of layup. That's a tough call, but decision has been made.
So the deficit remains at 4, and it's going to be 2 foul shots. Oh no, beg your pardon. On shooting fouls, so they inbound.
Yeah, this time there's 2 foul shots from Mafanella. Again, Anabella Kosa has used that 1 minute when Angola was trying to sort out their defense. But they haven't paid any attention that the ball has been handed in already. A huge error from Angolan defense.
They do eventually get those 2 foul shots with Mafanella. We can close the gap to 2 here, having trailed by double figures. And they do. For a long time, it didn't look like we were going to have a close game, but we do now. Mozambique have showed their spirit.
Yeah, and it's really important for Mozambique to stay in touch with the Angolan team before the halftime, because that gives you a little mental advantage for the third quarter.
Good look for 3, short from Kamkovs. One's off the mark as well from Miguel, so Mozambique have knocked Angola off their game right now, and they have a chance to tie or even take the lead. Mafanella finds Dong, mid-ranger. It's a good look for her. Eusebio. Mafanella coming out of nowhere to try and steal the ball, and wraps up and Packer down on the deck.
Ventura, Liliana hasn't seen that. Eusebio hasn't seen Mafanella coming for that help. There hasn't been a good passing line to give the ball to your big.
Final 3 minutes of the first half. Liliana Ventura short with the 3. Still Mozambique ball. Ventura, she lines up another one. And short again, Dong with the rebound, step down the baseline and puts it into tie from 10 down.
It's very nice to shoot the ball from long distance, even though if you're unsuccessful when you have Lea Dong in the front court.
Knocked away. Mafanella's big presence causing problems. Here's Ventura, another 3 and another miss, and no matter what they do, no matter who takes the shot, they just can't get going from downtown.
Yeah, this has been a quite unprepared shot, because Ventura has missed. This was her 3rd in a row, and there was no one for rebound. If you have Lea Dong coming into that space under the rim for a rebound, then okay, but there was no one to secure this missed shot.
Nobody can hit at the moment for Angola. They get a second chance here with a fresh 14 on the shot clock. And Don comes up with an interception. Kosa. She's fouled by Mpaka.
Yeah, Angola seems to be struggling offensively right now, because none of the players really can hit any shot. Either if it's under the rim or if it's a mid-range, long-range. But they have to still be mentally strong, because it can't just last all game that they're not going to hit any shot. They have to stick to their game plan and just believe that it's going to come.
Another 3, they're 0 of 15 from downtown now.
And we see immediately that Coach Saleh has put Pereira on the court while Italy Lucas is back.
Fired into the low post now. Turning into trouble though was Matikite.
And again, it comes to experiences of big players, because when you receive the ball in a low block, you have to know that Mozambique's coming to trap you down there. So don't dribble the ball, just look for an open teammate and deliver the ball.
They just cannot believe that they're missing all these 3s. Plenty of good looks as well. They get a break that time. They get the possession again, but 0 of 16 now. Even if they'd have hit 25% from the beyond the arc, they'd be up by 12. It's level, 20-20. Final minute coming up of the first half. Kosa, will she try again? No, goes into Mafanella. Mafanella off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Miguel.
And straight away pressure for Pereira. Her main role in today's game is just to face guard Italy Lucas to enable her to receive any pass or give her problems and not any space to breathe.
Jorge onto Miguel. And now Italy Lucas. trying to stop the rot for Angola. Spin move in towards the foul line, kick back out. They step to the side to take on a three. And they can't get anything going from anywhere, let alone beyond the three-point line. Kosa, Pereira, Kosa, they leave her unguarded. Dong's unguarded too, and she's going to take on the three. And if anyone's going to stop the run, it's going to be the big Leia Dong from the outside. 17 first half points. They have the lead, having trailed by 10. Their first three from 17 attempts. Lucas fires an air ball. What a finish to the first half. What a second quarter for Mozambique. Having trailed by 10, they lead the two-time African champions Angola by 3 at the half. Mozambique 23, Angola 20, and 17 of those 23 have come from Leia Dong.
Yeah, we see that Angola struggles massively in offense, but credit to coach Nasser Saleh to put Pereira Elizabeth on Italy Lucas to face guard her. Credit to Katia Haller as well, because these two players, their main job in today's game is to face guard Italy Lucas and enable her to feel comfortable. They shoot so far 16% from the field. That's just an incredible number. And as I already mentioned, it just can't last whole game. But to be honest, I think that's a credit to Mozambique's defense to force Angola shoot that percentage, because they don't really have too many open looks and any extra time to set their feet and feel comfortable for their shot. So a credit to them, a massive performance from Leia Dong. And we have highlighted her as a key player for Mozambique team, and she does just a great job on the board. Even though she has had a tough start, because Luisa Tomas with Whitney Miguel has been guarding her pretty well. But great mental disadvantage or advantage for Mozambique team to go to the changing rooms.
And the other key player we highlighted, of course, was Italy Lucas, who leads the way for her team on 9 points, but she's been restricted to just 2 of 9 from the field so far, and she's been overshadowed by Leia Dong, who has 17 points and 9 rebounds, as well as a steal and a block in the first half. At half-time, Mozambique 23, Angola 20. Welcome back to the Palais de Sport, where we're being treated to a real spectacle and the potential of an upset here. Mozambique have come from 12 down to lead the two-time champions Angola by 3 at the half. A 17-4 second quarter for Mozambique, having trailed at the end of the first 16-6. Dong is 6 of 8 from the field in that quarter, en route to 17 points, 9 rebounds, a block and a steal. 17 of her team's 23 points, quite a remarkable percentage of their offensive output. And Italy Lucas, who we focused so much on, rightly so at the start, because she's been in scintillating form earlier in the competition, held to 9 points off 2 of 9 shooting and just 2 points in that second quarter. A second quarter that seen Leah Dong and Mozambique take charge.
I think Mozambique has really managed in that second quarter tactically that time on the court, because they really put Elizabeth Pereira and Katia Haller on Italy Lucas, face guarding her, not even worrying about the rest of what's going on the team. And that has put Angola a bit offensively out of rhythm. They so far, Angola shoots 16% from the field, which is just such bad number. And we always say in basketball that just can't stay whole game that bad. So we could expect that Angola is going to come back a bit. They will prepare their positions a bit better and try to help Italy Lucas to get her open a bit more. Angola has been in this situation, shooting first half so badly, and then the second half they have really improved their percentage and ended up by the end shooting around like a 43 to 50%. So I would definitely not call this as any over of the game. There is everything open ahead, and it will depend on Mozambique now how good they can manage again defensively Italy Lucas.
Italy Lucas 1 of 4 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line for 7 points in the first quarter, but in that second quarter 1 of 5 from the field, and quite significantly didn't even get a trip to the foul line in that quarter.
Yeah, it's I think we've seen 2 completely different quarters, because the first quarter Angola has won 16-6, didn't really give Mozambique any time to think that they will win this game. But then obviously Mozambique hasn't gave up, and they came back with the quarter 17-4, which is just an incredible number to keep one of the favorites on the 4 points per quarter. And Angola really has to think about their performance if Italy Lucas is not involved offensively. So the rest of the players has to start to create a bit more to create a good position for them closer to the rim.
Mozambique have suffocated Italy Lucas, and in doing so they've suffocated the Angolan offense. Let's see if that changes here in the second half of this quarter-final at Women's AfroBasket 2017. Just a 3-point differential, but remember, just 4 points in the whole of the second for Angola. It's still going to be their ball here. We start the second half with Mozambique on an 11-point unanswered run.
Yeah, I don't even have to mention a great performance, individual performance from Leah Dong. Offensively and defensively, she has reached almost double-double in the first half, which is an incredible number. And she has scored 17 points out of 23 of Mozambique's team. So Angola has just one target, just guard Leah Dong on the board.
Step back, 3-pointer. That stops the bleeding for Angola. Jorge, who had early foul trouble. And she hits a big shot early in the second half. Mafanella, Cossa will try and answer back and gets it to go. Annabella Cossa, who was 0 of 7 from downtown in the first half.
Yeah, and she has had 4 assists in the first half, which tells us how important player she is to Mozambique's team. She's just creating everything possible for that offense.
Gala across to this near side. Jorge, who's hit a 3 a few seconds ago, steps in, misses the 2. Still grabbed underneath. They'll try and grab it again, and they do with Miguel. Free passage through the paint, then passed up. And Italy Lucas misses her first shot of the half.
This has been a sign of frustration from Rosa Kala, because there was no way she can steal that ball. And Mozambique player has been basically on their defensive half.
3-point advantage for Mozambique as they go to Mafanella on this near side.
So we see zone defense 2-3 from Angola again. Great move.
Step down the baseline from Moyanga and trying to kick it to the corner, got hit.
Yep, and Annabella Cosa has timed that cut into the corner really well to give a good passing lane for Mafanella.
Cosa into Don, there's that telepathic connection again, and Don gets fouled, so 2 in quick succession on Angola.
You don't want Lea Don to easily receive the basket in her strong position, so that's definitely one of the targets for Angolan defense.
Don gets a chance to add to her 17 first half points from the foul line. It's actually her first trip to the line.
Yeah, it's been only third free throw shot from Mozambique's team, so that tells us that there's been quite a tough battle under the rim.
And she gets them both. The lead for Mozambique is 5, which is their largest so far. Miguel kicks it out to Thomas. And Doniema trying to find gaps in the defense. Blew the layup, offensive rebound, put back in with the contact. Miguel a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, it has been a great defense from Mafanella, the previous penetration, but unfortunately no one boxed Miguel out.
So Miguel will have a chance to add to her tally in the game. She missed all 5 of her shots from the field in the first half, but hits one here in the second. We've got a 2-point game. Mafanella puts the ball on the floor, kicks it out. She draws the attention of the defense. Don grabs a rebound, double-double for her. Cosa, another 3, it's off all the way. Well, if nothing else, you have to admire Cosa's confidence because she keeps on throwing them up. 7 missed in the first half, then hit 1 at the start of the second, but she can't find any rhythm.
Yeah, but when you have completely open position and your teammates are ready to take a rebound, you really have to take that shot. Or Cosa could have just made 1 step closer to the rim with 1 dribble, but she has decided, because that's her position, she does shoot a freeze like that. So she just keeps shooting, and maybe at one moment it's gonna come.
Setter's offensive rebound. Cosa thought about it again. Pereira will take on the 3 instead, but they'll turn it over.
Yeah, but this time Annabella Cosa had to take it because they were quite close to a shot clock violation. That's what just happened on that second pass.
Natalie Lucas. Can she get going? There usually is a scoring streak in there somewhere. Still 17.5 minutes to find it. Here she is trying to pick the ball up again, but they turn it over. It's still not quite clicking for Angola.
And that's because Italy Lucas doesn't have her typical space offensively, because Pereira really does a great job on her to face guard her and allow her to create.
Cosa's just missed another 3-pointer. Miguel forced away from the paint by Don. Across to the far side, and Doniema out to the corner. 3-point shot wouldn't go for Gala. Offensive rebound and a fresh 14 seconds to work with. And the foul called.
Yeah, that's been a tactical foul now from Annabella Cosa, because she knew she had lost her defensive position, and she knows that her team is not on a foul trouble yet, so she has stopped that penetration to the rim.
Annabella Cosa now 1 of 10 from downtown.
Okay, so it's been already probably a layup while that foul committed, because I don't see any other reason why Doniema would be on the foul line.
She was travelling from a long way out from the basket. It's been called a shooting foul. and she gets them both. Angola back within one. Kosa across court to Pereira. Muyanga trying to swing it to the far side, and the passing lane wasn't really there. Great defense from Doniema. Itali Lucas trying to get going here in the second. She doesn't need a second invitation.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you give a 1 second freedom to Itali Lucas.
She's racing forward again on this near side, but Gala forced to cling on to it for now. She'll slow it down, they'll play in the half court. Miguel, Itali Lucas trying to cut away from Pereira. There's been little space from the number 13. She fizzes a pass in. Gala bounces once, takes a step, misses the mini hook shot. Two-point game in Angola's favour now. Kosa to Dong on the foul line. Didn't miss many in the second quarter, Dong, but she misses one here in the third.
Yeah, and Annabella Kosa knows that she has to give touches to Lea Dong to stay in the rhythm. So even though she has missed this shot, she has received the ball in her spot and position. So great decision from Annabella Kosa to get her involved again.
Dong to Pereira, fires a static three with a hand in her face and knocks it down. There's not been a great deal of joy from the outside for Mozambique, but they get that one to go. Thomas twisting and turning and providing the finish as well.
There's been great individual action from Musa Thomas. Lea Dong has been in a good defensive stand. She couldn't do any more.
Entry pass to Seda, who's blocked off by Miguel. Will go to the line for two. A chance to swing the pendulum back Mozambique's way. And this three from Pereira, just their third of the game. They've taken over 20 attempts. Seda at the stripe, ties us up at 32. One more to come to try and nudge Mozambique ahead. Midway point to the third quarter. What a quarter final we've got on our hands here. Itali Lucas to Thomas. Miguel puts the ball on the floor away from Dong, gets into the paint, blocked off by Seda, saved on the baseline by Kosa. Kosa quick down the floor to find Muyanga, and she takes on a three. So having struggled from downtown, they've now hit two in a row. And they've hit three in the third after just one in the whole of the first half. Itali Lucas. Can Angola find their shooting range now? Left-hand dribble drive, kick out to Gala in the corner to try and answer back. No, rebound grabbed by Mozambique, and they force it forward, but it was a bit too forced.
Yeah, that has been a great look from Annabella Kosa. Just execution of their pass hasn't been ideal, but good push, good run.
Gala to Thomas, and an offensive foul called. That's the latest two, Muyanga. They've hit four now, Mozambique, and all coming from different players. And they lead by 4 with 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third. Timeout call.
Yeah, they probably knew why they want to match up against Angola in quarterfinals, because they have been confident enough to know that they know the strategy to beat Angola. So are they able to keep it with that strategy for the rest of the game, to keep Angola on a low-scoring game and make the upset of the tournament? So we will see. That's quite exciting invitation for the people to stay and keep watching this intensive game.
Don't worry, there's plenty in the arena who are going to stay, because they're pouring in their numbers now to watch the host Mali in action in the third quarter final of the day on this court after this one. We already have had one upset on this court, the first game of the day in the playoffs for the classification places down the bottom of the 12 teams, and Guinea, who hadn't previously won, upsetting Tunisia, but that in very different circumstances. A deflated, disheartened Tunisian team that perhaps weren't giving their all, certainly weren't giving their all. Here, it's two teams who are giving everything to try and get to the Final Four. And Mozambique have the edge over previously undefeated Angola. Here's Dom. Picked off by Itali Lucas, which is away from Kosa too, but there was a third defender there, Moyanga covering. Setter, back to Moyanga. Moyanga getting away from one, stopped by Thomas though.
And again, straight away Pereira on Itali Lucas. Oh.
Itali Lucas harassed by Pereira that time.
Yeah, there hasn't been any help from teammates of Elizabeth Pereira, because she has got screen, with a tough screen by the half line. And none of her teammates seems to be even making a step closer to Itali Lucas.
Pereira has done a good job of trapping Itali Lucas and only picking up 2 fouls. Tough move through the paint, off balance, and Don grabs yet another rebound. It's going to be a monster double-double for her no matter what happens for the next 13 and a half minutes. Pereira, Don, Kosa, across to Moyanga. Don calling for it on the foul line. Moyanga bypasses her, finds Kosa, who takes the deep three, and picked up underneath by Seda, and they'll take that.
Yep, and that's why it's important that Annabella Kosa keeps shooting those open positions, because her teammate are building a better stance and position under the rim to go for that rebound.
Itali Lucas off the mark with another, and they will turn it over as they fail to reel in the rebound. Mozambique up by 6 and have possession. So far so good for them. But Angola are used to being in this position, aren't they, at this tournament? They've been down a couple of times, and then out of nowhere comes Itali Lucas.
Yeah, you're right, and they have massive experience within their roster, so I would definitely not be skeptical for Angola yet, because as you just say, they have Itali Lucas. She can get crazy within 5 seconds and hit 3 threes in a row, so all is playable.
Angola misses one from the outside after the miss at the other end as well. Mozambique still have their 6-point advantage and a chance to add to it. The fans really starting to get warmed up here.
Yeah, it's a zone defense still from Angolan team.
Pereira will take on another three! 2 threes for Pereira here in the third. Mozambique up by 9. Largest lead of the game for them.
And you know, it's such hard to be a guard of someone who's a star of the tournament and still contribute offensively for a team, because it usually takes loads of energy to face guard one of the best players. So, whoa. Credit to Pereira, seriously. She's doing a crazy, incredible job so far.
A timeout called with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining of the third quarter. They've continued their momentum from the second. Mozambique here into the third. Pereira a couple of threes. They've increased their advantage at the half from 3 up until 9, and that forces the timeout.
And we can hear a crowd screaming and shouting, Mozambique, Mozambique. So I think their performance is very sympathetic to them so far, and they really get the crowd on their side, the way they play Angola.
Well, any neutral audience loves an underdog, don't they? And Mozambique could be the biggest underdog story of this tournament so far. They lead the 2-time African champions Angola by 9 points. Angola winning those 2 titles very recently, here in Bamako in 2011, and then a couple of years later in 2013, back-to-back titles, only the second team to do that after Nigeria. And they're looking for their third title in the space of 4 tournaments, the Angolans. Plenty of experience from those gold medal winning teams in 2011 and 2013. And against a youthful Mozambique side, they're getting rocked and rattled at the moment.
Yeah, if Mozambique's gonna stay smart as they are so far and disciplined offensively and defensively, we could possibly see another upset in this quarterfinals.
Dong's high entry pass for Seda was too difficult to control. We've not seen Dong looking for those kind of passes until this point. Eusebio, and then a three-point shot that goes long. Commanding rebound from Seda up against Thomas. Final minute of the third coming up. Still Mozambique ball.
Yeah, we see Italy Lucas now on the bench, getting some minutes off. For probably 4th period of this game. And that's what I was about to say. I was waiting when coach Saleh will take Pereira off to give her some break as well, because he will need her as soon as Italy steps on the court again.
Dong, she hit a 3 in the first half, this time drive, left hand, switches onto the right and finishes, and Leah Dong makes it a 21-point game. A wonderful tally from her as she makes the lead a double-digit one for the first time. 11. Way off the mark for Mpaka. She turned in the paint, surrounded, and could only throw up the air ball.
And now we see on the court the players, the bench players basically from Angola, except for Concalves, who has been playing yesterday against Central African Republic and has been a bit struggling with the zone defense. So we see they are not as in best rhythm offensively.
Oh, what a step! They're on fire right now, Mozambique, and that time it was the 17-year-old Chania Pinto. Thomas, corner of the paint, puts it in. End of the quarter, 11 points the lead for Mozambique now. They've grown it from 3 at the half. Leah Dong continuing to do the business, now up to 21 points in the ball game. A big double-double already for her, leading the way as Mozambique look to cause a huge upset. 45-34 over Angola at the end of 3. Welcome back to the Palais des Sports, where we're ready for what should be a fascinating 4th quarter as we see the numbers from the first 3. Angola limited to 20% inside, 21% from downtown. Mozambique not exactly shooting the lights out, but certainly doing better than their opponents. And Leah Dong has been the main story, the main reason for that. 21 points out of their 45, but what a great defensive job they've done as a team and also individually on the star player for Angola, one of the star players in the tournament, Italy Lucas.
Absolutely, I have said that as one of the key factors when you ask me, Tim, prior this game, what I think Mozambique would have to do to possibly upset this one of the favorites Angolan team. And I told you they would have to find a way how to guard Italy Lucas, how to get her off the offense of Angola, because she has been just a key player, completely key player for Angolan offense. And we've seen when the bench has got their minutes, they have been struggling to create any possibly situation. So Mozambique has came with this strategy, and they're doing so far a really decent job to keep Italy Lucas under huge pressure and cutting her off any ball possible.
Kossa was under pressure here in the backcourt, but able to get it over against Eusebio, who sticks with her all the way. Start of the 4th quarter, 11-point lead, and a turnover forced by Angola. Can they start the comeback here? Italy Lucas is still on the bench at the start of the 4th. And Dong takes a rebound and clings onto it after getting a big whack from Thomas. Angola were down by 15 to the hosts Mali in the group stage before turning that game on its head and coming out with the win. They're 5-0 at the tournament.
Yeah, the question is, could Mozambique stay disciplined offensively and defensively as they've been so far for the rest of this quarter to upset this one of the favorite? That's the main question, and Angola has a massive experience within their roster, so we should expect some comeback from them.
Dong, that one was halfway down and then back out again. So the gap remains at 11, no score yet here in the fourth. Let's see if Angola can make it a single-digit game. Still going to be their ball. Shot clock is down to 5 here as they look to inbound it with Eusebio. They need some quick offense, and Packer. Eusebio, she gets a good look as Kosa comes flying out to greet her. Dong's underneath, Seda will help her out. How long are they going to wait before unleashing Itali Lucas? Kosa.
We see man-to-man now from Angola.
Dong looking to spin towards the baseline, riding the contact, rolling a marker and putting it in.
She's just unstoppable today. She just reads her defense so well, and she's such threat today to Angolan team.
And there's the steal as well. Here comes Pinto down the floor, and the 17-year-old will go to the foul line.
And I think there has been an unsportsman foul called, because there was no intention pretty much to steal the ball. Yeah, that has been a huge hit into the face of young player Chanyaya Pinto.
A big hit at the under-16 championships in Madagascar a couple of years ago. Chanyaya Pinto, what a big game for her to play in here.
And again we hear a crowd screaming Mozambique. That's quite clear who has that support behind their back from the crowd at this game.
You know what, I said that any neutral audience likes an underdog. There's another reason that the Malian fans will want Mozambique to win here against Angola, who've beaten their team already at these championships.
Absolutely. Mali is a basketball country, and they can count these steps. They can think what's going to come in the next stage of this championship. There are semi-finals, finals, and they're possibly trying to really push the playable possible opponent of home team Mali.
In terms of how they line up for the semi-finals might look, the winners of this one will play the winners of the Cameroon-Senegal tie, which comes on this court next. So it would have been a potential final, Angola against Mali.
Yeah, and we know that Angola has been saying since first minute of this tournament that they came here for the title. So Mali's fans definitely are fully aware of that. That would have been possible finalist Angola.
Tough break for the 17-year-old who will go straight to the bench. She misses both foul shots, but unsportsmanlike foul that she did well to draw, so they have possession. Kosa, Moyanga, into Dong now, up against Thomas again. It's been a really good matchup, that one. Pereira misses the three. Thomas started fairly well against Dong in the first. Dong has just taken charge of that matchup. Thomas trying to create room for Itali Lucas, who's back in, but still can't find a shot. And Dong, of course, gets her hands on the loose ball first.
Yeah, Itali Lucas doesn't help herself in that screen situation because she goes too far away from the screener. So Pereira has enough time to still stay on her and put the pressure on her.
Shot clock down to 6 here. Moyanga across to Kosa. Kosa fakes the pass. Defense not biting though. Moyanga forces up the contested 3. Senna with a rebound underneath. Misses the layup. She'll grab it again. Batted away. And they've got to compose themselves now. 10 seconds to work with again. Moyanga to Pereira. Got it! A couple of layups missed, but they'll take the 3.
Wow, what a performance from the Mozambique team.
And that's 3 threes in the second half for Pereira.
And again, it comes to offensive rebound. If they wouldn't grab that offensive rebound, there wouldn't have been a second chance to score this 3. Just Angola needs to really refocus defensively and offensively.
What an upset on the cards here. Mozambique lead Angola by 16. Dong to Moyanga. Dong to take on the uncontested 3. She hit one in the first half, can't hit there, but it's saved brilliantly by Moyanga. Dong will drive in, kick it to the far side. It's Pereira again. Not this time.
Yeah, now Tamara Seda has got taken away a bit with the atmosphere, and she just hocked Angolan player from behind, but she's fully aware of that foul. She doesn't even protest.
They're feeling it on the Mozambique bench. A couple of thousand in this arena are sensing it as well. Backdoor cut, forced under the hoop, back out for 3. Onto the foul line it goes. They put up the long 2 and it goes for Felipe. Still plenty of time for Angola, especially with Itali Lucas. 14 points the difference. To the corner, Pereira, she'll keep on firing, she'll keep on hitting.
And it just surprised to me that Angola just leaves it wide open in those corners, because she just hits 3s, so you want to go contest the shot, but I've just seen from the replay that there has been again a layup Dong screening that lower player in the defense, so credit to her to help her teammate.
Angola can't answer back with the 3, but they do grab the offensive rebound. Didn't touch the rim, so the shot clock's still ticking. 1 second to get it away. Rolls off the rim that time. Grabbed underneath by Felipe, who's fouled. Mm. 5 minutes and change remaining. 13-point differential. Jorge and Miguel, and a whistle.
Yeah, now Mozambique needs to manage their team foul smart, because they don't want to get into foul troubles too early, because then every foul will be rewarded by the 2 free throws for Angola, and these points could cost them at a big margin they have so far.
Felipe forced away and into the turnover. 3 fouls on Mozambique with still half of the quarter to play. Moyanga back to Kosa, into Dong on the strike, back out. Moyanga, they'll take their time, wisely so. It's Pereira. Can't make it 5 threes in the half.
Yeah, all day long she could be shooting, because still no defense paying any attention to Pereira on the 3-point line.
I think she's 4 of 6 from downtown here in the second half. That one pops in and out.
Great release from Tamara Seda now, overloaded situation. Whoa!
Circus shot wouldn't fall from Moyanga.
And no effort to grab this rebound from Angolan team. How come that Moyanga can shoot this off-balance shot and still grab her offensive rebound? That's just unforgettable.
Dong gets fouled with only 2 left on the shot clock. That just eases the pressure that there might have been on the Mozambique defense.
And we see now Anna Concalves coming back on court to be at least a bit offensive threat to Mozambique's team.
Dong. Rebound grab to Itali Lucas, who's fouled straight away. That's the 4th foul on Mozambique shortly after Angola had picked up their 3rd.
Yep, so since now on, every foul will be rewarded by 2 free throws, which could be not 2, good situation for Mozambique team to secure this margin in the score.
Wide open three, doesn't go for Miguel. Dong comes up with the ball again. Not scored as many in the second half, not scored at all, I don't think, in the fourth, but she continues to fight for every loose ball and on the boards. Pereira, she's taken over the scoring. Center the rebound. Back out, Pereira again.
That has been a great read from Tamara Seda now. She didn't have to force that shot. Better to prepare and score in one.
And Dong the chance at a three-point play. As Mozambique look to extend the advantage. All the way to 20. It's a 25-point game for Lea Dong.
Yep, it has been a great decision from Tamara Seda. Great recognition that she had two defenders of Angola on her back, so she didn't force that shot. She just took a time to pass out again and gave the opportunity to organize.
The margin remains at 19 after the missed free throw. Italy Lucas, it's got to be a moment to pounce now. Tremendous move, oh my word. Italy Lucas will have a chance to add one from the stripe, but how did she find the gap?
As you have seen that Ruth Mwanga hasn't been on the split line, so that's a signal for great players to attack the basket.
We're going to have a timeout with 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Still time for Angola, but they are fast running out of it. And they need Italy Lucas to start heating up. They trail by 17, 55 to 38.
A Lucas tendência aqui, tá bem? Rosa, deslizada todo o campo.
Não está longe, questão de 3 minutos. Temos que gerir o tempo, atacar sempre, temos que continuar a produzir pontos, tá? Continuar a produzir pontos. O homem a homem, jogamos o flash, tá? Primeiro dentro, fora.
Angola led Mozambique 16 to 6 at the end of the first quarter. They've been up by as many as 12, and now they trail by 17. It has been a quite remarkable turnaround. Lea Dong doing most of the scoring early on, and then taking over Pereira in the fourth quarter. 4 threes for her, 12 points to go along with the 25 from Dong.
Yeah, we have to say 12 points, but incredible defense on Italy Lucas so far.
Big time defense and then big time offense after that.
And we obviously now see some pressure from Angola to try to get Mozambique out of their rhythm.
They come up with the steal. Italy Lucas. The foul called on Cossa.
Yeah, and 2 free throws for Italy Lucas. And that's exactly what I mentioned. That it could cost them that margin in the score if they will start to play a bit with their hands, or if Italy Lucas is gonna do her best to draw the foul.
Just a reminder that this is a rematch of the 2013 final when Angola prevailed to win the gold medal. Mozambique are looking for payback, and they're looking for gold of their own eventually here in Bamako. We're going to have a timeout with 2 minutes and 55 remaining, deficit cut to 15.
3 minutes of the game is still so much time, and I'm pretty sure that Mozambique is now praying for that it goes a bit quicker than usually the time, but unfortunately it doesn't. And Angola has a massive experience within their roster. 15 points, we've seen that before, for Angola to come back to the game from 15 points down in a game. So the game is not over, and everything is open. And Mozambique needs to make sure that they still stick to their disciplined game, finding a real positions to score from, and Pereira just has to do her magic to try to go Italy Lucas without committing any fouls now.
Lucas, as we saw there, limited to 16 points. Still a pretty good tally, but not shooting anywhere near her usual efficiency level. And leading the way for Mozambique, that lady right there, Leah Dong, 25 points and a double-double for her, but we see some big individual performances elsewhere on their roster. Tamara Seda, 14 rebounds. The lady with the ball, Annabella Cossa, 9 assists so far. They've all chipped in. Mafanella trying to drive at a gap that wasn't there.
Yeah, and that's not the discipline we've spoken about. They've been playing so far in this game, so they have to communicate with each other that they have to play with time. Oh, big three from Concave.
That might spark the comeback. 12 down, 2.5 to play. They need to use these seconds wisely now, Mozambique. No point rushing the offense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will see Leah Dong on the court shortly.
Mafanella, Cossa, Pereira, who's hit 4 threes in the half. Mafanella turns it over. She threw her elbows out as she tried to create some room.
That's a shame now that Elizabeth Pereira hasn't felt confident for that jump shot. She's been shooting so far only threes, but she has had now open position for that jump shot, so she shouldn't taken instead of Mafanella being in a not really good position.
Here goes Tali Lucas, looks one way, forces it up and she'll go to the line. It looked as though the door was slammed shut on Angola, but it's slightly ajar now. She could reduce the deficit to 10 from the stripe.
Yeah, and we see Leah Dong back on the court. That's been just a 1 minute for her to take rest, get some breath, and be again a key player on the court the past 2 minutes of the game.
So tough for the coach because you want her fresh for a semi-final tomorrow if you're going to get there, but you have to make sure you get there as well.
Exactly, and I think that's the main point of the coach, and you have to go step by step. You can't think too far away ahead, otherwise you won't succeed. So first step for Mozambique team is to take this win today.
It's only a 10-point margin now. It has been a lot higher. Is there time for a comeback though for Angola as the foul is called with Mafanella driving forward?
That's been a great decision from Mafanella to go aggressively into that penetration, because she hasn't stayed in the right ideal spot on the court by the baseline against that pressing, so great decision.
High pressured foul shots here for Odelia Mafanella. She hits the first one, gets them both. Tali Lucas trying to shake off the attentions of Pereira, who remains as tenacious as ever despite all the moves from Tali Lucas, but she can't hit the shot. This is going to be a monumental upset.
Yeah, again, it has been a great read from Annabella Cossa just to overpass that first line of the pressing.
Tamara Seda will go to the line for 2. The lead for Mozambique 12 and only 83 seconds to play.
We see that Mozambique's team using this little break while free throws to chat a bit about the strategy, about the tactic now for the past minute and a half of the game. And we see Whitney Miguel is fouled out right now. So that's quite a bit pain for Angola, because Whitney Miguel has been doing a good job under the rim, filling that space. So we see Sonia Nandiema coming on.
$13 the difference. Seda cool from the stripe is 4 of 4.
Must be a quick offense now for Angola, but prepared offense. Oh.
Foul from Dong is only her third of the game. Plenty of height differential between those two, Dong and Gala. It's been a wonderful quarter-final, fascinating from start to finish. Still 76 scintillating seconds to come. It's a 12-point game. Kosa. Angola wanting to stop the clock. They were looking for the steal as Kosa shows that telepathic understanding with Dong again.
Wow, that has been a huge misunderstanding in Angolan defense right now, a minute to go.
Lucas looking to make a cut. Wasn't found. Final minute. Gala to the corner. Domiema back out. 3-point shot for them. Won't drop. It's not going to be Angola's year. 14-point difference, final 35 seconds. And Mozambique hearing it from this Malian crowd, although that's an 8-second violation.
Yeah, that has been a quite silly and forced error right now from Mozambique team, even though they are up by 14. We don't want to commit this violation.
Very sloppy turnover indeed. Kosa just wasn't concentrating. It won't harm them though. And Angola, disappointed, heartbroken even, will just dribble it out. Great reaction from the Malian fans. Mozambique cause a major upset to avenge their 2013 final defeat to Angola. 3 times the bridesmaid, not yet the bride. Is 2017 their year?
Has been a shot clock violation now for Angolan team. I haven't noticed that there's been still almost 4 seconds differential in the shot clock in time.
Leah Dong is pretty much in tears. Her 27-point game, with a huge double-double and a huge 3-point shooting performance as well in the second half from Pereira, who hit 4, have done the damage to the 2-time African champions. Mozambique win it by 14, 61-47.
Wow, what to say to this huge upset, first huge upset in the quarterfinal. I think coach Nasser Saleh has well prepared his team tactically for this game. Credits to Leah Dong being a key player offensively and defensively for Mozambique's team. But the player who I would give at least the same credit is definitely Elizabeth Pereira, because she has done a just incredible job on Italy Lucas. Italy Lucas has still scored 16 points, but most of the time she has been under the pressure, and what else, she hasn't got the ball in her hands as much as Angolan team used to, and that caused a huge troubles to Angolan bench players and the other 4 from the first 5 to create anything offensively. They have kept Angola on 47 points, and you just can't win games with 47 points. So great credit to coach Nasser Saleh for the tactics he has came with.
Look at the shooting percentages that Angola were held to. Around 20% inside and out. They were battered on the board as well. And turnovers equal between these two, but very little was equal in a game where Mozambique really stood tall. And the player standing the highest was Leah Dong. 27 points you see there, 15 rebounds as well for Seda. A huge contribution assisting for Annabella Kosa. And Pereira there, you see her 12 points to add to her defensive display on Italy Lucas, limiting Lucas to 18. 4 threes for Pereira. all of them coming in the second half. So the second quarter-final is done with a huge upset here at the 2017 Women's AfroBasket. It's Mozambique who go through to the semis at the expense of the two-time champions Angola, and they will play the winners of the fourth quarter-final on this court later tonight, Cameroon against Senegal. The final score was Mozambique well and truly in charge in this one and taking full advantage as they move into the semi-finals in full flow. It's the third quarter-final here.